I just wanted to introduce somebody if you guys haven't seen her before. Her name is Mary, and I asked Mary to be here tonight because she's one of our seven-figure wholesalers, a coaching client, and she recently got in the program and she hasn't done a wholesale deal yet, but she made money with off-market properties. And I think this is so cool because it's not often I get to interview people about this. Mary, you had an off-market property, and from what I understand, you connected it to a real estate agent. Somebody, one of these sellers that came through the pipeline for the marketing we set up for you, didn't accept your off-market offer. So you said, "Here's my real estate agent," and they closed the deal. And how much did you get paid on that one?
Yeah, so I made 5 grand just off referring this lady to one of my friend who's a local real estate agent. Her property was not a right fit for wholesaling, and she wasn't from the area, didn't like the real estate agents that she had met with to sell her property. So I connected her with one of my friends who I knew she would like, and he ended up selling the property for her. So I got a thank you card from her and a referral fee from him.
That's awesome. So $5,000, like if you think about it, all you did was you we generate leads off market and you talk to the seller and then you connected it to the realtor, and really the realtor did all the closing and all that stuff and you just kind of sat back and got paid. Question for you. Whereabouts are you based? Like just generally speaking?
So I'm in a small town 20 minutes outside of Ottawa called Russell.
Okay.
And the client was in Rockland, which is maybe another 30 minutes from my house.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you ever go visit the property?
I drove by it. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah.
But if you drove by it because you were interested, but really you didn't have to go there, you could have done it 100% remotely.
Absolutely. It's just that when you have a baby that doesn't sleep, you tend to go on car rides, and when you don't know where to go, you drive
Right.
by properties.
Well, this is the perfect business if you think about it for somebody who's having a baby who wants to stay at home. You can be wholesaling from your living room while your baby's right there and you're taking care of them at the same time, right? So, are you when do you go back to work? I know you've been off work and that's when you joined the program, but when are you supposed to go back?
I don't go back until October. I took 18 months, but right now she's at the age where it's tricky to make phone calls when she's up because she's a bit older. But she's starting daycare in about a month. So
Right.
that's going to free up a bit more time because I'm still on leave till October, but she'll be in daycare. So I'm going to wholesale my butt off.
Yeah. Or let's just get you two of these deals per month, the ones you just did. Even at 5,000 a piece, two per month, that's 120 grand a year. I mean, if you could do two of those deals per month, would you go back to your job if you had consistency with it?
So two deals a month would match what my full-time job was paying me. So no, I would not go back.
Right. So you could stay at home and take care of your daughter and everything. So let's at the minimum shoot before October. You replace your income with the wholesaling or what you just did. We need to think of a name for what you just did, referrals. So for anybody who's watching who doesn't know, who may be new here, when we wholesale, we set up marketing to get people who want to sell their homes reaching out to us every day. All we do is check our inbox and there is people reaching out. They want to sell their homes. And a lot of these people, their house isn't suitable for a wholesale because we're looking for discounted properties. But I'm guessing in this case, the house was in good condition and it was good to list on the MLS at retail value. So what we do with those ones is we connect them with a real estate agent, and when the real estate agent sells it, we get a commission, or we get not a commission, but a referral fee. So wholesaling, referrals, and listings is the way to make money with this. Cool. Do you have any advice for anybody? Since you're now you're not a wholesaler yet, fully, I wouldn't say per se, but you've made money doing this. So do you have any advice for anybody else who might be sitting on the sidelines getting started?
Well, I think the only thing I could think about after it happened is how you And Nadia on the Monday calls are always going back to like, it's about helping people. It's not just business. It's a big transaction to sell a house, and people need help when they come to us. Um, I didn't have to refer her. I could have just said, "You're not a fit for wholesaling. Thank you. Best of luck." But I referred her.
Yep.
It wasn't much more work, and yeah, it took me further. So
Yep. Well, okay. Well, that's what I always say is you're not going to get somebody to sell you their property and do an off-market real estate deal with them unless you're truly solving a problem for them. And that's why I know that this is the most heart-centered business in real estate, because when people call us, they don't want to call Remax. They don't want to call, like in your case, I think the problem was they called realtors and they couldn't connect with a realtor that they liked and they had a bad experience. Is that basically what led them to you?
yes, exactly. She had interviewed two or three, had gotten the ick. Um, she was a single lady, didn't like the vibe that she had gotten, said that some were flirty, some borderline inappropriate, some too business-like. I don't know where she
Yeah.
found them, but
Right.
yeah. So
Right. Okay. Yeah. So what I found, maybe it wasn't in this case, but a lot of times when people see our marketing, it's because they have a distressed situation and they want to connect with somebody who gives them that human touch. And a lot of times when they call a real estate agent, a lot of real estate agents they dress in their nice suit, they go down there in their Mercedes, and they're being an agent, right? Whereas a lot of people want to have just a personal connection with a home buyer. And that's where we come in and we just talk like normal people having a conversation of commonality. Because if somebody's distressed, the last thing they want is a realtor who comes down there in their shiny car, showing up, talking about listing it, and people walking through their house and everything. So how we help people is by giving them that like down to earth human connection and not being like the real estate agents. However, that being said, I think every single real estate agent should be a wholesaler as well, or anybody who's thinking about becoming a real estate agent should use this as a tool to enhance your real estate agent career.
I have a question.
Yep.
So my question is, um, ironically, I just saw a another person that's wholesaling in the States, and he does referrals to
Yep.
real estate. But he was saying there they get $1,000 upfront for the referral, and then the remainder upon closing the realtor selling the property. So is
Yeah.
this what's happening with Marie, or she's just what's
Yeah. How did that work, Marie? Do you want to talk us through how that went?
because I know the person personally, or it's a strong acquaintance, if you can call it that way. Um, it wasn't very formal. We didn't sign anything. Um, he just said, thank you so much, and I want to give you a referral fee. But if I'm able to sell it, I may even give you more than I'm thinking about. And I said, oh, like you don't have to, thank you. It was just so easy to connect you guys. I just gave you each other's contacts, and he sold it, came back, and he said, I made a decent commission on that because of you. Here's 5 grand. And yeah. So because I knew him and we trusted each other, we didn't have any contracts going into it. It was very informal. I don't know how it usually works when you don't know the person or you have to do an agreement first, but we didn't for that specific situation.
so Tony, does is this a common thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I make at my height of wholesaling when I was doing like a wholesale deal every week and I was full on, I was making millions a year wholesaling, but on the side, as a side business, I was making six figures, over six figures a year over 100 grand a year just giving referrals to my real estate agent. He would, because this is how it works. Usually I send my real estate agent to the property at some point in the thing, right? And so if the person doesn't accept the offer that we made, then what I'll do is I'll say, hey, remember the guy I sent to your property the other day? You know, if you want retail price, I mean, he's a real estate agent. He wasn't there. He was there working for me as a consultant in my business, but he is a real estate agent. Do you want him to come back and let you know what he can list it for? And by that time, I've had 3-4 hours on the phone with them. My real estate agent has been at the property, bonded with them on a human level, not on a I'm a real estate agent level, blah, 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 blah. So of course they feel comfortable and we get tons of listings like that. And get this, when we get referrals, typically the real estate agent gives us 25% of the commission. So if I was making 6 figures, just over 100 grand a year, it makes me think he was making 300 grand a year doing this. And not only that, if I was the real estate agent, I'd have been making like 400 grand a year just using this strategy to get listings. So yeah, it's very normal. We do it all the time.
Now, so is that on a handshake or is there paper?
So, okay, so Marie and me have a very similar situation. This real estate agent, I literally did like multi 8 figures in transactions with him and never had an agreement signed. So, but if you're getting in the business and you're meeting new people, you probably want to draw something up. And thankfully with Chat GPT these days, you just tell Chat GPT what you want, draw it up and sign it. And you can drop whatever you want, like whatever you want to negotiate. Does that answer your question? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, that answers my question. I have a few real estate friends as well. So that would be good.
How
Well,
much?
I'm a small town, right? We're a small town. So
Yeah.
that'll work.
Whereabouts? You're by Kenora? No, you're not by Kenora.
No, I'm north. I'm by
Sudbury.
Sudbury.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
between Sudbury and Sault Ste. Marie.
Oh yeah, up in that area, like it's such a tight-knit community. I wouldn't worry about there's so much
Yeah.
reputation in those small towns. Everybody
Yeah.
knows everyone. I wouldn't really worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering if that was a
So
'cause I
you
thought
should get a good agent that's willing to go to every single lead you talk to, go to their house, and I make an offer on it. I get all these new wholesalers saying, well, they have a retail property and they don't want to sell for a discount. I don't care about any of that. I just want to get my realtor to walk the property, bond with them on that level. We make an offer that they won't accept that's for wholesale price, and then we try to convert it to a listing if they don't take it. And that's been my angle forever. So
Can I ask a question?
yeah, who's
So if you're new to wholesaling and you want to kind of follow that policy there where you try to get your realtor, someone that you know, a friend, cousin, whoever, as someone who's new to wholesaling, what is the purpose of me bringing a realtor there if I'm trying to wholesale? And what do I say to this potential seller? Like, how do I set that scenario up and say, hey, I got a realtor that's going to come by and take a look at your property? Like, how do you do that? What do you do?
I love
Right.
that question. That's awesome. So I need to break it down to the very basics. So I like to wholesale 100% remotely because right now I travel the world. I'm in the Caribbean on a white sand beach in paradise, and I'm wholesaling houses across the USA and Canada. Now, some home sellers will not sign it. When we get a home seller who wants to sell their property to us wholesale, we have to write a contract with them. A lot of home sellers won't do it over the phone. 50% of them will do it remotely over the phone, but the other 50%, they want to see somebody at the property. They're not gonna sign unless they know you're legit and you're real. So in that case, I send my real estate agent. And even though my real estate agent isn't working as an agent in the deal, he's working for me like as a consultant or as, you know, as an employee or whatever. So he'll go to the property, he'll talk to them and that sort of thing. And then the other thing too is when you do an assignment, when you're wholesaling the property, you can either have lawyers do the assignment paperwork or you can have yourself do the assignment paperwork. But I prefer to just have my real estate agent do it. So I get them to do a bunch of the paperwork, I get them to go to the properties, and that's how I get to live on a white sand beach under a palm tree in paradise while flipping houses remotely in Canada and USA.
So do you have some sort of an agreement with your realtor to go there? Like, what benefits does it have for them? What if the seller decides, okay, yeah, I do want to wholesale this. Well, they're out of luck, the realtor. So how does it benefit them to go? Is there some sort of an agreement financially in the just in case scenario that you'll get this potential
Yeah,
property?
your real estate agent is your business partner, 50-50 on the assignment fee.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Like put it this way, when I was doing it all by myself, I maybe did a deal a month and I kept all the money, right? But then when I started leveraging real estate agents, all of a sudden I was doing deals all across from Tennessee down in the Tennessee, USA, Atlanta, North Carolina, Florida, Alberta, BC, Ontario, all across the USA and Canada nationwide, and doing like 4 or 5 deals a month. And so I went from making maybe 30 grand a month doing this to making 200 grand a month and keeping 100 of the 200 grand. So I was still making significant, like 3 times as much as I made by myself, and it was easier. So, but you don't have to. I have students. I have 2 students. They recently did 2 deals in Alberta, and they did it all by themselves. No real estate agent. They kept the whole $40,000 assignment fee. The guy on the call last night was, I don't know if you guys missed the call last night, but one of our students, Michael, just closed a off-market wholesale deal and he made $17,000 and he had no real estate agent, he had no partners, he kept every single penny of it. I'm going to actually post the interview with him on my Facebook and our YouTube channel tomorrow. So you can do it either way. Cool. Yeah. I know we cut you off there. You were speaking and did we answer all your questions?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Maybe I'll jump to, thank you so much for sharing, Mary. I greatly appreciate that. And you know, I look forward to closing some wholesale deals with you now too.